Namo Buddhaya. Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Quick sound check. Can you hear me all right? Yes? Good?
Not too good.
Not too good? All right, let me try something else then.
Not too good.
Not too good? All right, let me try something else then.
Not too good.
Not too good? Okay, how about now?
Better.
Better? All right. Great. So then, Namo Buddhaya. Welcome, everyone.
Better.
Better? All right. Great. I'm going to begin by inviting the devas.
Samanta Chakavaleso Antra Kachantu Devata Ladhammang Muni Kachantu Devata Santo Sakmo Katang Sake Kame Charupe Giri Sekharata De Chantalake Vimane Tipe Rathe Chakyame Taruvana Kahaneke Hawatum He Kete Pumma Jahyantu Deva Jalapala Visame Yaka Kuntha Panyaka Tethanta Santike Yang Muni Varavachanang Sathavo Me Sunanto Dhammang Savannakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhammang Savannakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhammang Savannakalo Ayam Bhadanta Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Upatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Buddhaya. My respects to all the Venerable Sangha here. And let's see, oh, happy to see Ayasuchita. Welcome. Ayamarajina. Who else do we have here? Any other friends? Oh, Venerable Pasada. My respects to all. Welcome to everyone to our International Bhikkhuni Day celebration this evening. We're just past actually the full moon of September. That was Saturday, Sunday, and we had some in-person commemorations then, but we're having our special program this evening for International Bhikkhuni Day. This is known as the date of the founding of the Bhikkhunī Sangha, 2,609 years ago, under the September full moon. This is the date when it's said that Mahapajapati Gautami, the first bhikkhuni and the Buddha's foster mother, she had walked several hundred kilometers from Kapilavatthu to Vesali with 500 women of the palace, and she had requested her ordination from the Buddha, and she received it. This is commemorated on this full moon, this founding event, followed 7 days later by her arahatship. So very auspicious season here. So that was 2,609 years ago, according to the classical Theravada Buddhist counting. And then how did that come to be International Bhikkhuni Day? Well, that happened 15 years ago. So that was an idea of Susan Pembroke, who was the founder of Alliance for Bhikkhunis, an organization established for education, raising awareness, and financial and material support for the newly revived Theravada Bhikkhunī Sangha, founded in 2007. Susan was a student of the late great meditation teacher and Bhikkhuni Ayakema. And out of gratitude to Ayakema, Susan wished to establish something for the Bhikkhunis. So she established the Alliance for Bhikkhunis in 2007. And then a few years later, she attended the first Bhikkhunī Sangha, first all Theravada dual Sangha Bhikkhuni ordination at Aranyabodhi Hermitage in 2010. And she was inspired and she wanted to do more for the Bhikkhunis. And then the following year, they established International Bhikkhuni Day on the model of other days, that days and weeks and months when a certain cause or something is honored for education, for advocacy. She thought Bhikkhuni should have such a day. And she thought about what would be a good day for that. There were a few options considered. One was this September full moon, the founding anniversary of the Bhikkhunī Sangha. One was the December full moon, Sanghamittā Day. And a third one was I think Mahapajapati Gautami Parinibbana Day in February. But she chose this one, which makes sense. It's something for all bhikkhunis that we all, of all the different traditions, all trace our history back to this, this great founding event. So something worthy of honor. So the first International Bhikkhuni Day was launched in September 2011. It happened to be 9/11, September 11th, the 10th anniversary of the September 11th attacks in New York City on the World Trade Center. And the idea was that this would be an opportunity to transform causes of suffering into causes of awakening, taking that karma and changing it into something else. It was launched in 2011, and this year is the 15th annual International Bhikkhuni Day. So to begin with, we want to, let's see. Oh, I see some extra notes have appeared in my document. This is 999. What is it? It's, well, September 9th, not only 2 9s. Anyway, 99. It's a lucky day and the peak of the Perseids meteor shower. So all the various auspicious things that have happened on this day. Meteor showers, founding of Bhikkhunī Sangha. And also a couple days ago was the 30-year anniversary of seminary ordination for our founding abbess, Ayya Taloka. Also the 10-year anniversary of seminary ordination for Ayya Anuruddha and Ayya Niyanika, both of whom became ordained as bhikkhunis here later. It's a time that's been popular for ordinations. So it's also the 15-year anniversary of Anagarika precepts, at least in August, for Ayya Karunika, who will be sharing with us a little bit later. Also in August 2010, first ordination at Aranya Bodhi with 4 bhikkhunis. In 2021, there was actually my ordination on this date, along with my 3 bhikkhuni ordination sisters, Ayya Brahmavara, Ayya Anuvidita, Ayya Tisarani, and myself. And then in 2022, ordination here at Dhammadharini Monastery of Venerable Dhammanusari, who's also here today, and Venerable Dhammawara. Here's the establishment of the Sima here in the Sala at Aranya Bodhi, at Dhammadharini Monastery. So it's a very auspicious day. It's a day of celebrations. It's a day of ordinations and anniversary for a lot of us. So happy to be together with all of you and all of us on this wonderful day. Okay. Let me look again. Who's here with us? Happy to see, Birgit, Jillian, longtime Vipassana teacher and great friend of Dhammadharini for a long time. Who else? Ayya Suchita Mahateri joining us from Korea. Good to see you, Ayya. Dani. So we'll hear a little bit more about her recent Dhammadharini Korea project a little bit later. Who else should I recognize? Venerable Gautami joining us from Sri Lanka. We might hear from her a little bit later too. Other people on my guest list. Okay. I think that's who I have on my special mentions guest list. So happy to see you all, many friends. We have a full program this evening. We have many presentations for you about bhikkhunis ancient and modern, hopefully for inspiration, for education, for sharing and connection. And because it is a full program, then we're not going to have a lot of time for Q&A and discussion during it, unfortunately. But we want to give time for that kind of community connection. And so we invite you after the program, we'll go off the live stream and we'll have some time for community time together. So anyone who wants to stay late, welcome. Bring your questions, bring your sharing, bring your inspiration for our after program discussion time. We'll hang out a little bit and join you then if you like to stay. I know it might be late for some of you. Anyway, let's go into our presentations. I need to introduce my, so I am Bhikkhuni Kachayana. Will be your MC this evening. I have here next to me Venerable Vandana Bhikkhuni from India, who is joining us at Dhammadharini for a second Vasa here. She was with us last year. Happy to have her back again this year. And she's going to help me lead this program. And well, let me just tell you all who's here. You don't see Ayatata Loka, though she's, I think, probably watching the YouTube and with us in that way. So she's here and sending her blessings and good wishes, and we also wish to send them back to her. We have next on the other side here, we have Ayameta GV from Cambodia and Massachusetts, and Venerable Dhammanusari from Cambodia and Canada, Venerable Sanghamittā from Malaysia. I think you can't actually see it on camera. Maybe she can lean in just for a moment. Venerable Awera from India. We'll turn the camera a little later. She's going to have a presentation time.
I'm live on the camera here.
Oh, and okay, yes, she has her own camera on also. So, and on this side, we have Venerable Jutindara from Cambodia and Germany, and Seminary Dhammajivi. Also can't quite see her in the corner, but anyway, I'm happy to be joined by this lovely Bhikkhunī Sangha, seminaries, Anagarikas in the room here, and with all of you online. So with that, I'm going to let Venerable Vandana introduce the next part of our program.
So, so now I would like to invite our next presenter. I think Venerable Sanghamittā will present on the 15th Foremost Arahant Bhikkhuni in Chinese tradition. Please, Venerable Sanghamittā.
Thank you, Aye. So can everyone hear me? Is that okay?
Can people hear? Yes.
Can everyone hear?
Is it clear?
Venerable Sanghamittā?
Yes.
Thumbs up?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes? Okay. Namo Buddhaya. Kindly greetings, everyone here. In this session, I would like to share about the foremost Bhikkhunī Arahants that mentioned in the Pāli-text and the later Chinese Tripitaka source. I hope that you can see the screen. Okay. So we will discuss about the 13 Arahant Bhikkhunis in the Pali Anguttara Nikaya, and the same excellence of the Arahant Bhikkhunis to the Arahant brothers, Bhikkhus, and also the comparative study of the Pali text, the later Chinese Tripitaka. Here we choose two texts from the Chinese source. The first one is the Taisho Tripitaka, 1-6, and another one is 1-5. The objective here is to bring awareness to the public in this session. Second is to arouse the confidence and inspiration of the faithful.
May I just comment briefly? We think it's special to have 15 because this is our 15-year anniversary of International Bhikkhuni Day.
How can I remove this header here? This one? Okay. How to remove this?
If she want to
Is it
remove
okay?
things, so she can submit this.
Oh, okay. Right? Okay. So in this Pali numeral discourses, the book of the one, chapter of the farmers, we found the 13 Arahant Bhikkhunis in the Pali text with their foremost quality. The first one is Mahapajapati Gautami Arahant Therīs, foremost in seniority, followed with Arahant Bhikkhuni Khema Therīs, Upalavana, Patachara, Dhammadina, Sudarinanda, Sona, Sakula, Bada Kundalakesa, Bada Kapilani, Bada Kachana, Kesa Gautami, and Venerable Arahant Bhikkhuni Sangha Therīs. So every Arahant Bhikkhuni Theri here, they have their respective foremost in a certain quality. In this text, the Buddha mentioned about the Sāvika Bhikkhunis of this Theri, or we call them the female Mount Noble disciples of the Buddha. They are 13 in number, but we need to take note that this doesn't mean that the other bhikkhunis during the Buddha time or in this list lack of the same quality as those who are famous, who are foremost. The Buddha affirmed that this particular bhikkhuni is foremost among those who share the same quality. Of the 13 Arahant Bhikkhunis, we found 12 among them attained the excellence as foremost in comparison to their Arahant brothers within the female Sangha. So here we have get the source of comparison from Venerable Bhikkhu Ananda Jyoti from the Ancient Buddhist Text website, where Venerable Ananda Jyoti compare the list of these 13 Arahant Bhikkhuni to the Arahant Bhikkhu. So you can see, for example, the first 3 Arahant Bhikkhunis, Venerable Arahant Bhikkhuni Mahapajapati Gotami, foremost in seniority, is having this same excellence as the Arahant Bhikkhu Anyakondanya. And the second is Arahant Bhikkhuni Khema, the same excellence found in Sariputta Arahant Bhikkhu Venerable. Due to the time constraint, so I'm not going through the number, the first to the 13. Let us see about this. The next one. I'll talk about the traces of the Arahant Bhikkhunis in the later Chinese Tripitaka compared to this Pāli-text, where the 13 Arahant Bhikkhunis are found. So the first text that I'm referring to is the Taisho Tripitaka from the Chinese source, number 126. You can see here, there's a number of the text. And this text is about 佛说阿罗汉具德经. In translation, Buddha speaks of the virtue of the Arahats. In page number 833. In these Chinese sources, there are 15 Arahant Bhikkhuni. So I did this translation from Chinese to English for 15 of them in the list. Then we do a comparative study between this Pali 13 Arahant Bhikkhuni to the Chinese source 15 Arahant Bhikkhuni. So what we found here is 6 over the 13 in the list of the Pali, 13 Arahant Bhikkhuni Venerable, we found in 6 of them in the Chinese source. So where they come from, 6 of them, if you can see these highlights, the first one is Mahapajapati Arahant Bhikkhuni. The second one is Venerable Bhikkhuni Arahant Khema. And the third is the Madina Arahant Bhikkhuni. The fourth is a Sigala Mata Arahant Bhikkhuni. And the fifth is Sona Arahant Bhikkhuni. And the last one that we find identical in name and their foremost quality in Chinese text is Arahant Bhikkhuni Bhadda Kundalakesa. Then we take a further step because there are still the remaining 7 over the 13 Arahant Bhikkhuni that we found in Pāli-text, not found in that previous sutra. So I take the second sutra, which is from Taisho Tripitaka 125, from the Eko Taragama, volume 3, chapter 5, section Bhikshuni. Page number 558 here. Okay, and in the section number 5, which talk about the quality of the Bhikshuni. In this text, in this sutra, there are 50 Arahant Bhikkhunis, 50. And after the comparison with the Pāli-text, then we found that here are the 5 Arahant Bhikkhuni in the Pāli-text are found here in this sutra. They are Venerable Arahant Bhikkhuni Upalavana, Patachara, Sakula, Bada Kapilani, and Arahant Bhikkhuni Kesa Gotami. The text is here. In the Chinese text, here, Venerable Upalavana, Kesa Gotami, Versakula is in the list of number 5. Venerable Patachara, number 8, and Venerable Arahant Bhikkhuni Bada Kapilani, number 11. Okay. So, besides that, we found also today there are scholars that even though this the Taisho Tripitaka shows that this sutra contains 50 Bhikkhuni Arahant, but then some modern scholars found that there are 51 or 52 in number in this sutra when they count the number, especially in the 3rd and 5th section, which I want to show with you. For example, here in the section 3, there are 2 Arahant Bhikkhuni in the text. Okay, so their name is Lishuna and Shetuo. But then, if you see the summary here in every subsection, there are only 10. There are 5 sections, so total 50, 50. But why in the content there is 11 Arahant Bhikkhuni name here, and with a different quality? If we look at the different version, there are various versions of this Chinese sutra. If you look at the version, you can see my pointer here. Okay, for the Arahant Bhikkhuni number 27, here the name is Lishina. Okay, and the number 28 next to it, I cannot see here. Moment. Is Shetuo Bhikkhuni. But this is for the Taisho Tripitaka version. While in the Sung dynasty version, there is also the same Bhikkhuni are called Lisha. When you look at this, another name called Lisha for the same person, now we're going back to the number 27. Lishina and Lisha is very close. When you translate into Pali, it's similar. And in the summary of this section, it shows only Shetuo, 1 Bhikkhuni. So this name of this Arahant Bhikkhuni is represent the 2 name different here. It's just because of the different version of the Tripitaka. This is one point. Another one place where people find like 11 Arahant Bhikkhuni in a section is the section number 5. You can see here, the 2 names of the Arahant Bhikkhuni are the same. Xu Ye Mo here. So they have different quality, but the text say very clearly. In number 44 here, if you can see my pointer, it says 半句常作亦是须也摩比丘尼是. Yi shi here means also, who has this quality, foremost in preparing monastic bed and seat, also the same Bhikkhuni, Bhikkhuni Xu Ye Mo. Same with the previous number 43. So it is the same person. So in total count, as was stated in this sutra, it is only 50 Bhikkhuni, not 51 or 52. When I look at this discussion on checking on this Pali source and Chinese source, it reminds me on Venerable Bhikkhu Buddhaghosa Mahathera, who were sent to Sri Lanka in the 5th century CE by his preceptor, Vambarewata, to compile and translate the Sinhalese Atthakatha commentaries that keep in Mahavihara Anuradhapura. He has a duty to translate those Sinhalese Atthakatha into Pali and to bring them back to India. But what is the reason? Because the Pāli-text has been lost in mainland India, and they were written down in Sinhalese in Sri Lanka during the time of famine and political conflict in Sri Lanka. Then at that time, by the respectful Mahavihara Venerable Bhikkhus Mahathera, they take this approach to preserve the text, so they written down in Sinhalese language. Likewise, in the same way, now here, when we discuss about this Pali and Chinese source, we found the traces of Arahant Bhikkhunis of the Pali text in the comparatively later developed Chinese Tripitaka. Actually, if you look at this drawing, it is from a Sri Lankan artist named Gayan Chanuka Bidana Patirana. Here, he draw 14 Arahant Bhikkhuni. According to the Pali text, is 13. But why 14? Because he include Arahant Bhikkhuni Isidasi Theri, which we find in the Theravada verses number 400 to 447. And the same Arahant Theri also found in the Dipavamsa, chapter 18, verse number 9, in the list of the foremost Arahant Therīs disciple of the Buddha. Besides that, in the Vietnamese version, there are these 12 Arahant Bhikkhuni. But you will see here, one of them are Yasodhara, which not found. Is it found or not found in our Pali text? It is found in the Arahant Bhikkhuni list as well, but with another name. We know Yasodhara Bhikkhuni also named as Badakachana. So it's found in the list of the 13 Arahant Bhikkhuni, who are foremost in great deep knowledge, Mahabhinya. But in this list, only 20 Arahant Bhikkhuni. So the one that not found here is the Arahant Bhikkhuni who foremost in Sada Adimuti, in confidence. There is Arahant Bhikkhuni Sigalamata, not in the list. And the last one I want to share is this 50 Arahant Bhikkhunis that we found in Khmer. Yeah, so these in the future, if we have more time, then we can discuss further. So thank you for listening. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Venerable Sanghamita, for sharing this and bringing alive the stories of the 15 foremost Arahant Bhikkhunis in the Chinese tradition. I think your sharing help us to remember the strength, wisdom, and devotion of these great pioneers, and great inspiration to all the new generation. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Ayya Marajina Theri. She's now in Florida, and this is not according to our list, but because it's quite late for her there. So I would like to invite her. First of all, I would like to introduce her. Ayya Marajina Bhikkhuni received the higher Renunciation from Ayya Tathaloka Mahatheri at Aranya Bodhi Hermitage in 2012. She focused on mindfulness and loving kindness practice, like Satipatthana and the Brahma Viharas, sharing the Dhamma in both Spanish and English. Aya Margina dives her time between Cuba, Florida, and teaching online with a global Spanish-speaking Dhamma community. Thank you so much, Aye, for joining us today. And yeah, we have some special news from her.
Thank you. Yes, special news. First, I would like to give a happy International Bhikkhuni Day to all of you, especially to the venerables here and those on the path to the holy life, and to the venerable preceptor for many of us, Ayattatthha, and to express my gratitude for the support of Dhammadharini and everyone here who has supported the mission that I carry to Cuba and to Latin America. I'm going to share a couple of links, but since I'm not a Zoom adept, I will post those links after. And this is going to be very quick. I just want to say that it was an unexpected blessing to be able to return to Cuba as a bhikkhuni, to share the teachings of the Blessed One. I found a very devoted group of Dhamma practitioners there, and in an increasingly difficult economic climate. Since my first visit, there's been 4 island-wide blackouts, and that's due to the aging infrastructure and the lack of fuel, but there's ongoing, daily power outages, 4 hours to 8 hours daily. There's the medical system, which was world-class at one time, now has very few medicines, little anesthesia for needed procedures. Thermometers and electrolytes are scarce. Children aren't receiving the milk that they once would get. And the once very elite educational system in Cuba has deteriorated to the point of no textbooks, and relying almost exclusively online. But then the national phone company raised their rates for like around 900%. And so even our online Dhamma classes have seen fewer members in Cuba because they can't afford the rates. And if they could afford the rates, the blackouts keep them from connections. So anyway, that's the scene. That's what's happening, and that's what we work with. We don't try to push it away. These are the conditions, and in that sense, the Dhamma has really given some tools for them to use, which have helped them to see these as conditions. Not to impute a sense of, oh, woe is me into what's happening. Yesterday, one of my students surprised me with a video she made to celebrate International Bhikkhuni Day. And that's one of the links that I would like to share with you in a moment. And it features a lot of the Dhamma students that join me on the live streams, students that I've never met in person, and also some of our Cuban students. What they're speaking about is how the Dhamma has helped them and how they see that it helps the world, and how happy they are that there are bhikkhunis in the world. These are students from many countries, Peru, Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, as well as Cuba. So in the midst of the scarcity and the hardship, the Dhamma has really helped give tools to bring their practice into their daily life. So the good news is that visits to Cuba have become increasingly difficult due to the inflation, and also because it's hard to find a rental house that permits meetings, bringing the students into the house. I don't think it's against the law, but there's just a lot of suspicion, and no doubt, these are necessary rules they've placed, but it makes it very difficult to find a place to meet. And we've been looking for a place to purchase in Cuba since November of last year. And this morning we received possibly good news. There's a house that our offer was turned down in July, but the owner has since come down in price a little bit. We're still $3,000 short of the actual purchase price, and what would be like the taxes that are paid in Cuban coup, not in dollars, and some needed repairs. So we're a little short, but and I'm going to also include the link if you're so moved to help support this mission, because when I go to Cuba, we all come together and we learn and we meditate and we have community. But when I leave, there's no place for them to go to. There's no place for them to join, and so the group becomes again isolated and inactive. And this has been back and forth like this since last year. With the data rate increase now, they're not even able to join online. So a vihara, a Theravada Buddhist vihara for the fourfold Sangha, it would be for bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, laymen and laywomen. And we do have, my very first student is at Wat Pananachat, and he may be, if he completes the training, the very, very first Cuban Theravada Bhikkhu in Cuba. So with that, I would like to again express my gratitude. Oh, and one of my hopes for this vihara is for them to have their place, to have community, but also because it's so much more difficult for our Cuban members to go outside of the country, the Cuban vihara would allow bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, lay teachers, and our lay students from other countries to come to Cuba to join in and to make this a wonderful international community, spreading the Buddha Sasana in Spanish-speaking countries. So thank you for your patience, and I turn back the mic for the Dhammadharini Sangha. Thank you for letting me speak. I'm going to put those links in the chat now.
Yes, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Aye, for sharing this wonderful news with us. And I know last year I met you, and it was like going on. You were sharing your experience and stories, like how people are excited to see you when you go around and talk to you and learn Dhamma from you. And it's always beautiful to share Dhamma with people. And you're doing something beautiful and great, and something inspiring for us, for new generation, like how to overcome from our fear and guide people through the path of the Dhamma. So I hope a wonderful vihara in future, and we can visit one day to you. Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I hope all of people who are joining will support you for this wonderful project of yours.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we would like to move to next presentation. So this presentation is on Indian pilgrimage landscape of the Arahant Therīs, disciples of the Buddha, and Venerable Awera is going to present that one. So Venerable Awera.
Yes.
So Venerable Awera is from India, Madhya Pradesh, and she's here with us for the Vasa at the Dhammadharini this year. And we are happy to have her with us. So 2 Indian Bhikkhunis this year at Dhammadharini.
Let's ask Satina, can you help with the opening? I'm not able to share my screen. I'm not able to find like share.
Mhm.
It's showing these weird things.
Oh, it's here?
Yes, this needs to go here.
Oh.
And let's say share. Open system setting. You can copy the USB. Use monitor. Let's see. I have. No, I don't have. I don't have this. Yeah. Or you can take it to Venerable Kachina if she can. The presentation is just in the background.
Sorry, everyone. We are just having some technical dukkha again. So everyone have to wait.
Meanwhile, if you can, if everybody can hear me, I can share the backstory regarding my presentation. Aya, is my mic on? Maybe, oh, okay. Should I unmute myself? No, okay. So yes, if everybody can listen to me so gratefully, appreciating the opportunity from the Venerable Sangha to share with you all, and wishing everybody happy International Bhikkhuni Day, leading you all swiftly towards the pilgrimage landscape of Bhikkhunī Arahants of ancient India. Before connecting to the presentation, I would swiftly like to share the backstory behind the intention of choosing this inspiring theme, which is as I was layperson still practicing Dhamma with my first teachers,
during one of the Dhamma sharing, Dhamma sharing after meal offering, my teachers inspired me that how I can expand my heart towards the Mahasangha. And just immediately the joy of offering the food to the teacher expanded, as if thinking about giving the dana to the Bhikkhu Sangha of the past, the Bhikkhuni Sangha of the past, thinking about how there were the great arhants, anagamis, saktagamis, and sotapannas in both Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, upasikas and upasakas. Not just limiting to that, the teacher swiftly guided the Dhamma discourse, expanding the heart further, deeper into how we can connect with offering just the simple things to the Buddhas of the past, all many Buddhas that have arisen, all those Buddhas that will arise, all the Sangha of bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, upasakas, upasikas who are established into the fruit of the Dhamma. And somehow, while going through the journey as guided by the Venerable Teacher, are just grow in so much peace and serenity, grew so much into the faith and gratitude for the Dhamma that Venerable shared. So with the intention of not just keeping it to myself, I just thought of including this primary intention and sharing it with you all, so that everybody, as they go through the Buddhist pilgrimage in India, can connect back with the Bhikkhuni lineage and likewise grow more faith, and that can help them to find insights and knowledge and the deep connection with Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. As oh, I think it's it's not doing it for some reasons. Wanna check? Like it's sharing the entire screen. Yes, slideshow. I know. There you go. Hopefully. No, I don't think so. Loud. At least we were seeing back then, but now. Okay, maybe if this way it's visible, and if I can go on full screen. I think others cannot see my screen. Moment. Okay. Or yeah. So. Allow me to take you to the map of the wandering territory of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So the range of the sublime wandering charika of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in the Buddha's lifetime was mostly through the region of Sakya, if you can see the cursor. Kosala, Kasi, Vaji, Magadha, and Anga. So all these North Indian kingdoms at that time were often frequently used for bhikkhunis to stay, and variety of bhikkhuni monasteries were established with many of the bhikkhunis disciples walking this path often. Moving forward to the first bhikkhuni site, first place, not just Bhikkhuni side, Varanasi. Connecting with the intention, I would like to share how okay, I'm presenting in the slideshow, but my system just hang and it's not changing, right? Okay, now it's not. At least there is. So Varanasi, as connecting with the intention again, I also added how in the past, in the time of Buddha Kassapa, there were many, he had 7 sisters, which were in this lifetime, the Arahant Therīs, Venerable Arahant Theri Khema, Venerable Upalawana, Venerable Patachara, Venerable Bhadda Kundalakesi, Venerable Bhikkhuni Kisa Gautami, Ayada Madina, and Maha Upasika Vishakha. These were the 7 sisters of Buddha Kassapa in the history, where they all belong to the ancient kingdom of Kasi in the capital city of Banaras. All those, as you all visit the Varanasi, we cannot surely identify where they all stay, but it's good to take a time and connect with these venerables who in the past have stayed there, and in this lifetime were all Arahant Therīs associated with that place. Now, keeping my presentation even shorter to limit the time, I would just give the overview of the presentation that I planned, taking you towards Rajgir. The Theravada tells us of that not only the Buddha and the Bhikkhu Sangha had their days abiding in the caves and vultures' peak, but the Bhikkhunī Sangha as well, as evidenced by many Bhikkhunis from the past. Bhikkhunis in the Theravada associated with Rajgir and Vulture Peak includes the leading Bhikkhuni disciple, foremost in wisdom, Mahapanya Khema Theri. Also, now keeping it very short in the margin, I would just share the names. Adhikasi, who was also the courtesan of Rajgir, fully awakened, become Bhikkhunī Arahant in Rajgir by practicing Vipassana. Many of these venerable Therīs, including Chitra Theri, Abhaya Mata Padmavati, Dantika Theri, all these venerables were meditating on Girjaku, the Parvata, and through their wisdom and insight, they all gained awakening in Rajgir. Famous story of Theri Sukha, born in Rajgir, a wealthy householder, had also practiced in the similar way. And being an Arahant, she was also a great teacher in Rajgir, who helped many of the thousands to be awakened. Similarly, Arahant Soma Theri, who we also find the discourses on Samyukta Nikaya, for her awakening in Savatthi, but she was born in Rajgir, just to share. The story of the foremost Jain nun Kundalakesi was also born in Rajgir, who later on association with Sariputta Bhante and Buddha became an Arahant Theri, foremost disciple in swiftness in higher knowledge. There is another famous story of Venerable Subha Jivama Bhakavana, who was once practicing in Jivaka's mango grove, where being accosted by a Raj who was infatuated with her eyes, like the famous story where she plucked out her eyes and put it out in his hands, and how he trembled and repentant, seeking for her forgiveness, is like that famous story. That incident also happened in Rajgir. And it's also known that when she went to the Buddha afterwards, her eye was restored. Venerable Analayo, just to mention, has written an interesting article on this story from Theravada 71 as well. Taking to the next slide, mentioning about Rahula Mata Bimba Yashodhara Hataka Chayana Theri is said to have her own Bhikshuni monastery, of which she was the lead teacher in both Rajgir and Savatthi. There are some texts where it's mentioned that before departing for Savatthi, intending for Parinibbana, she was in Rajgir. We can connect with how she was in the state before departing for Savatthi for Parinibbana. There next slide, which is very close to Nalanda, Rajgir is Nalanda, where we often visit the sites of the Nalanda University. And not only Nalanda University, but the place is famously known for Bhante Sariputta's birthplace. Speaking of which, Venerable Chala, Sisu Upachala, and Upachala were Arahant Bhikkhunis, fully ordained Buddhist nun in the time of the Buddha. They were the younger sister of Buddha's chief disciple Sariputta. And as Venerable Sariputta joined the monastic order, the three sisters followed his example, and with diligent practice, they all attained awakening. The Pali Canon has special chapter for Venerable Chala, Venerable Upachala, and Venerable Sisupachala theory in Samyukta Nikaya 5:6, 5:7, and 5:8. The verses are beautiful, but because of the time constraint now, even more, I encourage you all to go visit and read the Sutta so that the heart feels inspired. And as you go visit the Nalanda, please, your heart inclines toward remembering them and helps you gain good insight and fighting Mara whenever those similar voices arise in your head. Moving towards Vaishali, also known as Vaisali, is famous Pāli-text tradition as the site of both Bhikkhuni ordination of Mahapajapati Gautami Theri and the courtesans of 500, courageous 500 at Kutagarasala, and of Mahapajapati Gautami Theri's arahantship at age of 80, but also her Parinibbana 40 years later, her awakening. Theravāda shows that many other of the 500 great founding mothers of Bhikkhunī Sangha also years later took Parinibbana in Vaisali. We would hopefully hear more about this from Brother Deepak's presentation in the later part of the program. So I again cut short here. The Theri Gatha and Theravāda records the awakening story of several of the founding group of the courageous 500. So Vaisali is not well developed now, but surely the energies of the Dhamma, and as we incline our hearts towards knowing and connecting with the Bhikkhunī Sangha of the past, it can grow very peaceful and serene, knowing how all the senior Bhikkhunis, the first batch of the Bhikkhunī Sangha, had stayed and practiced there so well. Other theories, Arhantinis, Bhikkhunis of the Theravada associated with Vaisali includes Therika, Sumana Theri, Chinta Theri, Vimala Theri, Tiha Theri, Vaisati Theri, and Arahant Bhikshuni, also Ambapali Theri. Just because of time constraint now, even more so, I wish to touch them in a little detail, but gently just sharing only about maybe Arahant Bhikkhuni Ambapali Theri now, as she was the former courtesan and a big devotee of the Buddha, born in Vaisali, after hearing the Dhamma from her own son, the Arahant Thero Vimala Kondanya. After offering the mango orchard as the Ambavana monastery, she went forth and practicing Vipassana meditation on the three characteristics. She attained the unshakable and declared herself a true daughter of the Buddha. Connecting all with the Savatthi. Savatthi or Shravasti was another great center of the Arahant Bhikkhunī Sangha of the Buddha. Pāli-text, commentarial, and manuscript tradition records that Mahapajapati Gautami Theri, Patachara Theri, and Nishodhara Theri all had a great teaching monastery with a great following of many hundreds in Savatthi. So Bharama and Rajakarama were the two of the famous monasteries which are still often visited by the pilgrims on the regular basis. Ubarama was offered by Vishakha, and Rajakarama was offered by the king of Kosalan, very famously still known and revered, just to connect the hearts with the bhikkhunis of the past. It's also said that Padakachana Theri, Yashodhara Theri, also took Mahaparinibbana here, and traditional manuscript says that her Parinibbana stupa was also established here with the Buddha's guidance in the north of the Savatthi. In the Therigatha, a large number of Arahant Bhikkhunis are associated with Savatthi. I already kind of summarized them so much, but just more so for the time constraint, I would like to just quickly go through and just share a little about Theri Patachara, a great teacher, foremost in Vinaya, who was also born in the merchant family in Savatthi. And she, after gaining awakening so quickly, 30 Arahant Therīs also were under Patachara Theri, quickly gained awakening. And not just till them, there are records of 500 more Therīs who were mothers who lost children and were students of Patachara Theri and were awakened through insight, working out the dart. All these were just kindly mentioned in the scripts to be the disciples of the Patachara Theri, imagining also Maha Prajapati Gautami Theri and also Yashodhara Theri having their own respective monasteries and all the huge Bhikkhunī Sangha in Savatthi at that time. There is also a little about Venerable Upalwana Theri, but now I'm getting time reminders, so I would just humbly conclude the presentation, sharing that as you visit this Bhikkhuni sites or ancient sites related with the Buddhas and often very much connected with Bhikkhu Sanghas, take a moment to also connect with the Bhikkhunī Sangha, appreciating their wisdom and insight and connecting your hearts, opening them broader so that the needful wisdom, the needful Dhamma can connect with your hearts and help your heart reach awakening. Sharing my sincere gratitude with Venerable Acharyani Ayatatthaloka Theri for this opportunity to share today and follow the aspiration under her guidance and under the banner of walking in the footsteps of the Bhikkhunī Arahants on the 15th International Bhikkhuni Day. May this merit earned be shared by all, my family, my friends, all of the living beings, all my upachayas, my karmacharini, my acharini, and all my teachers who have helped, along with all living beings. Wishing you all the peace and highest blessings.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you for your patient listening.
That was wonderful presentation, Venerable Avera. It's just like we have really short timeage. That's why. Otherwise, I think Venerable guided us through the scared sites of the Arahant Therīs in India, and the information she shared with us, I think it's connected us with the living landscape of our ancient Bhikkhuni heritage in India. And I see some comments from people that they want this presentation if they can get. So maybe after this program, maybe you will get the follow-up emails who have registered for this program. So you will get all the presentations that we having today.
Maybe I can share the longer version so that they get more details and the sources also they can explore with.
That sounds great. Okay, so now I would like to invite our next speaker, Samaneri Dhammajeevi. She is American Cambodian, and she is ordained last year as a Samaneri here and staying here at Dhammadharini since last year November. It will be almost 1 year in this November. And her topic is history of the Bhikkhunis from India to Sri Lanka to China and India to Suvarnabhumi up to 13th century. So I'd like to invite Tamaneri Tamachi to guide us through.
Let me see what I can try. You can go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? My respect to the Mahasangha and greetings to Dhamma friends. As we heard that from Venerable Sanghamita, there was like 13 bhikkhunis, 15 bhikkhunis, 50 bhikkhunis, and we heard from Venerable Avera of the different places where bhikkhunis were born and where they practiced, where they achieved enlightenment and all that. But that's not it. There's so many bhikkhunis, thousands and thousands of them during the Buddha's time. And not only did that, according to Pāli-text chronicles of Sri Lanka, up until the Asoka, the period where many thousands of bhikkhuni during that time as well in India. And also bhikkhunis would start spreading to other country when the Emperor Asoka mission to spread Buddhism to other country in the 3rd century BCE. So as you can see this slide, Sri Lankan Viceroy Anula Devi was the first woman to be ordained in Sri Lanka together with her 1,000 companions. This ordination was like a facilitated by a dharmic diplomacy and statecraft between the Emperor of India and the King of Sri Lanka that brought the Arahant Sanghamittā. She's the daughter of Emperor Asoka, along with the Arahant Bhikkhunī Sangha and the sapling Bodhi tree, along with their expertise from India to teach and ordain women in Sri Lanka. So after they got ordained not too long, these 1,000 women attained the state of arahantship, and Queen Anula Devi became known as an Arahant Anula, and she became the first woman or the first bhikkhuni Arahant in Sri Lanka. Soon after that, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, along with his 500 companions, ordained and also attained arahantship. So these series of ordination established the fourfold assembly in Sri Lanka during that time. And there's record that bhikkhunis were teacher in Vinaya, in suttas, and also in Abhidhamma over the subsequent century in Sri Lanka. Now, can we go to the next slide then? Okay. At the same time, short story of the Emperor Asoka's mission also sent Arhat Sonatero and Arhat Uttaratero of great psychic power to Suvarnabhumi. And in there, they basically, it's a general mainland of Southeast Asia. And in there they ordained 3,500 sons and 1,500 young women during that time, but there's no record of how these 1,500 women were ordained. So in addition to that, there was 2 records found of Suvarnabhumi in Cambodia. One was a stone Sanskrit inscription that says the king, Isan Varaman, is full of glory and bravery. He's the king who ruled over Suvarnabhumi until the sea. The second record was found that it was a Chinese record from the Sui dynasty published by the Buddhist Institute of Cambodia that mentioned many bhikkhuni during the reign of this king. So if we can go to the next page. Yep, this one. Yes, in addition, there's a Sanskrit word pravaja or papaja that's used only for monastic, ordained were used to ordain young women, and this is found in the great stele of Paminikas by Queen Andradevi. She was the queen of King Jayavarman of Cambodia, who reigned from the late 12th century to 13th century. So if you can go to the next one, please. Yeah. So if we connected the Emperor Soka mission to Suvarnabhumi to the previous record, it appeared that Sona and Uttara Theros would have gone to Cambodia, although it was much bigger than it is today. So therefore, bhikkhus, or at least seminary, are recorded existed in Cambodia in the early 13th century. So let's go back to the next record. Yes, so this one. Go back to Sri Lanka at around, this record at around 5th century CE. There were two records, at least the second record was led by Sri Lankan Bhikkhuni Devsara, traveled to China and ordained over 300 Chinese Bhikkhunis back then. And these Chinese, or these lineage were basically were brought to other country. And this is the lineage that revived the Sri Lankan Bhikkhunis in the 1996, 1998 to current. So speaking of current, right now at Dhammadharini, we have the two relics of Arahant Sanghamittā Therī here in the large stupa in front of you, and one piece of Arahant Anula Therī here with us at Dhammadharini. So this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Sadhu. Thank you, Seminary, and thank you for mentioning the relics. These arrived on the last full moon here with great ceremony. We've shared about them in the anniversary programs that we had last month for anyone who would like to learn more about these relics. But we're delighted that they're here with us, blessing this space, blessing this time. And also I want to mention, let's see, I think I see here Paula, I see Venerable Gautami was here earlier, several people who were involved in bringing the relics to us at the time of the anniversary last month, and just want to rejoice with them and sort of making it full circle. This is
Sadhu,
history
sadhu.
coming back. So Anumodana for that, for bringing this history here. We're going to next part of our program. We've gotten the history of the bhikkhunis so far from the ancient ones at the time of the Buddha, and then a very quick overview of the next 2,600 years of history. And now we're going to come up to more modern times. We're going to come to 1996 and 1998, which Seminary Dhammajivi was mentioning the revival of Bhikkhunī Sangha in Sri Lanka at that time. And it was also in India. And I'm going to invite now Venerable Vandana to share about how this happened in India, the revival of the Bhikkhunī Sangha there in 1996 and 1998.
Yeah. Namo Buddhaya, everyone. Good evening. First of all, I would like to pay my respect to the Triple Gem, the Arahanta Mahatheri Sanghammittā and Arahanta Mahatheri Anulatissa Theri. I pay my homage to both of them. And most senior Bhikkhuni Ayatathaloka Mahatheri to give me this chance to share this history that is really close to my heart because I'm an Indian Bhikkhuni and I really admire the motherland of Buddha. And not me only, I think all people, they feel like, oh, why we don't born in India? We want to born in India. So I feel like, okay, they say, oh, you were blessed, you were born in India. And when I think, when I see in the history, no one knows about the Indian Bhikkhunis. No one knows their struggle. No one knows their past, how they came and how all this started. So I think this is first time I'm going to present this on the international platform that people will know how the Indian Bhikkhuni came from nowhere, from from nowhere to like from the seed to a tree, and how it's growing every day, their struggle and their challenges and how they are overcome from that. So today's my title is The Journey of the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha from Struggle to Recognition. So as we know, in India, there was after Buddha's time, there was after 700, like more than 700, the Buddhism was like, there was no trace of Dhamma at all. But in 1956 and 19th century, the revival of Buddhism happened in India at Nagpur, Maharashtra. So Maharashtra, Nagpur is the center of the India, and there is a place called Diksha Bhumi. So this is the picture of the Diksha Bhumi on 14th October 1956. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he revived the Buddhism in India, and there was like more than 6 lakhs of people who came and became a Buddhist at that time. And he was like so supportive towards the women, and this is the one of the reason he chose the Dhamma, because Buddha have supported the woman. It's like he supported the woman to get ordained and to be liberated in this very life. So his vision was like inspired women to seek ordination, and among them one of my grandma also at 1956 she was like 8 or 9 years old when this big history revival of Buddhism happened, and that's how she got inspired and she came into the Dhamma, and that I think all other women also got inspired and wanted to go forth to liberate their life and wanted to be ordained. So after 1956, Venerable Visakha Mahatheri also, she was also part of that movement at that time, and she was also young. So this is, she is the very first Bhikkhuni from India. She got ordained in 1996 because she was so inspired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and there was many movement of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to educate women to how to give them strength to fight for themselves and to know their worth. So she was part of their movement, and she got inspired, and she went to many bhikkhus to ordain. But as we know, or still now, some monastic doesn't accept the bhikkhunis, but that time also it was like 19th century. Sorry, 20th century. So people like, oh, we don't accept. But there was Bhante Sadananda Mahathero who supported her and ordained her as a samaneri. And after ordaining as a samaneri, she started to go village to village, like Buddha said, Charata Bhikkhave Charikam Bhahujan Hitaya Bhahujan Sukhaya. So that's why it's like this is really famous word in India. When if you see a monastic and they travel and they say, okay, we're traveling to inspire people, to teach them the Dhamma. So this is her picture. She passed away in 22. Next page. So in India, it's like still for women, education is not a important thing. It's like women don't have that much right, and because of the culture and society, they are not recognized. But at that time also, because they had a strong determination about to go forth, they took the courage and they got ordained. Next. So in the 1996, there was a contemporary high ordination held in Sarnath, India. The 1996 high ordination program, it was for the Sri Lankan Bhikkhuni lineage after it had been extinct for roughly 1,000 years. The Indian seminaries were not informed, they were not a part of it, but they missed the chance, and they were so determined to grow stronger on the path of the Dhamma. So this is the turning point. On the 1998 Buddha Gaya, this is the temple at Tha Chuet temple, where the high ordination happened. And there was like more than 150 bhikkhunis from all around the countries, from Mahayana and from Theravada tradition, both of them. So there was a pictures of the bhikkhunis, 30 bhikkhunis, next pages. There was pictures, this is the pictures of the seminaries who participated in that. So Sadananda, Bhante Sadananda Mahathero, he told about this high ordination program in the Buddha Gaya, and all of these 30 bhikkhuni went by train, traveled by 3 days, and went there. And I read there was a 5 bhikkhuni who walked, few bhikkhuni walked by from Nagpur to Gaya to participate in the program. And after they reached there, because they were not participated in there, they were not included in there, they just reached there and next. So they just arrived at last moment, and they requested the Venerable Shengyang to accept them, to give them the high ordination, because it's like from 1966, it's already like 32 years they become Samaneri. So they really wanted to become a bhikkhuni, wanted to continue this path. And Venerable Singyan, he was like so happy and moved there by the determination, and he accepted without thinking twice. Thanks. So this is the group of the Sangha from the different countries who participated in this high ordination program. It's like you can see from Sri Lanka, from Taiwan, from Cambodia, and Thailand. So there was like an international group who supported this high ordination program. This is participants from India who was like practicing the precepts and next page. So there's like rehearsing how to perform the high ordination. Next page. So after the high ordination, there was a in Nagpur, Maharashtra, there was a supporters devotee, Sugandha Sakare Sobha Ambade Saraswati Sakare. They donated land, and especially the Sugandha Sakare, she built this first floor for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, and she donated this place to the Bhikkhuni for the training center and to stay there. So this was the really first Bhikkhuni monastery in India in 1991. So this is from the inside the male of Mahapajapati Gautami Buddha Vihara. So this is the Sangha there today at Mahapajapati Gautami Buddha Vihara, Nagpur, India, the center where I mentioned. Next page. And so it was like 30 bhikkhunis in 1998, from 30 to 500 across India today. In just 26 years, the Sangha has grown into a living example of preservation. And there's many more to go. It's like, I want to mention, there's some highlight significant milestone that we are at now, and last year and this year. So like Indian bhikkhuni have begun to start and study internationally. So last year, Venerable Sakya Dhammadina, she went to Canada to teach. Myself, I came to Dhammadharini to study and get trained. And this year, one more Indian bhikkhuni, Venerable Awera, is here. So it's like 3 Indian bhikkhunis going worldwide, not only to teach, but also learn and for their recognition. So this is another thing. Then I want to mention one more project that we did in India this year. This year in January, we organized printing the Patimokkha, Bhikkhuni Patimokkha, and recording Dana for Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni Patimokkha books in Marathi language. So we offered that books at International Tripitaka Chanting on 2nd February in Nagpur Diksha Bhumi. And recently, on 2 days back at Mumbai, we also they celebrated the International Bhikkhuni Day. So they distributed that Patimokkha books. So this was like really first step towards supporting the bhikkhunis to study. Then now there's a 2 bhikkhuni training center are appearing in India this year. So one is offered for Buddha Chatuparisa in Nagpur. This year they organized the Samaneri program, and people got so inspired and they offered the land. And the second thing is Venerable Sakya Dhammadina. She is also having her own monastery in Madhya Pradesh. And this last thing, really big footstep, we are having with the support of Navanalanda Light of Buddha Dhamma Foundation International and the United Theravada Bhikkhunī Sangha International. in December 25, the first inauguration with the Indian Bhikkhuni and international with world-class documentary filmmaker, the Footstep Mahapajapati Great Renunciation Trail Pilgrimage. And December 26, preparing for the Great 500 with messages of Indian and international Bhikkhuni walking in the footsteps of Mahapajapati Gautami and awakened foremothers of the Arahant Bhikkhuni. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. May their journey is a reminder of the faith and determination. So there's a question like, if the Buddha gave women path 2,500 years ago, why should they still wait today? May we honor their courage and continue their vision. The Sangha is strongest when Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis work together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Venerable Vandana. It's a wonderful journey, and I feel so inspired to think of them, taking the train and walking and all of that, just the inspiration and devotion to get their chance. It's a wonderful story, and I'm glad it's continuing today with our 2 Indian Bhikkhunis here, and wonderful events happening in India related to Bhikkhunis coming up. We'll hear some more about that from others later. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Next up, we are going to invite hearing about, we heard a little bit about the history of Bhikkhunis in Cambodia. We're now going to hear about the modern day revival of Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha. So inviting our we have with us here today 3 Cambodian heritage Bhikkhunis and 1 Cambodian heritage Samaneri. That's actually the majority of the Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha in existence today. We're very glad to have them all with us. And I'm going to invite them to present. And who's speaking first? Okay, we're first going to invite Ayameta GV, who is the first Cambodian Bhikkhuni of modern times, and appreciating her courage in going ahead, and very glad to have her here with us. Okay. All right. Okay.
Namo Ratana Vantami. Good evening, Venerable Sangha, with my respect and all Dhamma friends. Warm greetings on the 15th International Bhikkhuni Day. I am Metta GV Bhikkhuni, representing the Khmer Bhikkhuni Sangha. We are honored to represent the Khmer Bhikkhuni Sangha. It's now established in Cambodia, dedicated to study, contemplation, and compassionate action. I stand among a lineage of Bhikkhuni, and I am the first to have received higher ordination in Sri Lanka, February 18, 2018. The second Venerable Sattha Bhikkhuni received high ordination in the US, October 1st, 2021. Third, Venerable Tamanusari received high ordination at Tamatarani, California, USA, September 11, 2022. Fourth, Venerable Jutintara received high ordination in Germany, July 2nd, 2023. So each of us continues to develop and share our progress and aspiration. Our mission is to help novice Cambodians and practitioners in deepening their understanding of Buddhism and to share it with all who come to learn. So, do we have I thought we have and I invite other Sangha to engage with the slideshow. So this is our place in Cambodia. This is a temporary, we call Ampawana Bhikkhunī Arahants in Cambodia. So just a temporary, and we offer place to stay by Cambodian devotee. So we support the lodging, and one meal, a daily one meal. So actually we don't have sufficient support yet. But our mission is to have novice Cambodian and practitioner. So especially in Cambodian, the Buddhist country, even though the country that plenty of Dhamma, but I feel like they lack of understand about Buddha teaching. And for us, as a bhikkhuni, we stay there. We kind of have a lot of challenges because of the people try to persuade lay people that do not do Dhamma with the bhikkhuni, because nowadays it's not really bhikkhuni, because after the Buddha passing, there's no more bhikkhuni. So for us, we kind of like, it's really hard time for us over there. But anyway, this is our mission, so we have to be there and teach our seminary Cambodian to understand the Buddha teaching. So from that, they can gain the knowledge for themselves, to help themselves. And during that time, we also can help teach the lay people understand about the Buddha teaching. And hopefully in the future, Cambodian will, from that, they can help and support the Sasana alive in Cambodia. Thank you for listening. And may all beings be happy and free from suffering.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And then, okay. Next slide. Venerable Jitindra will share with us about progress on the Bhikkhunī Sangha in Cambodia.
You can see from there that big. Namo Buddhaya, and greeting to all the Sangha, and greeting to all Dhamma friends. My name is Bhikkhuni Jitindra, and today I have opportunity to speak about our progress. We just have only small Sangha, only a few when we prepare to the Bhikkhunī Sangha in the world or some country. And I'm very much appreciation to the to our senior Bhikkhuni or the next generation seminary, our Khmer Bhikkhuni and generation seminary, Khmer seminary. And very thankful because we have only small member, Cambodian member, Sangha, but all is very support, all of us now is very support from the Bhikkhu Sangha. Like Ayamitta TV, She was the first Cambodian Bhikkhuni, and she have received her seminary ordination from a Khmer Bhikkhu in Toronto in the year 2016. Yes. The next slide. And Venerable Dhammanusari is Venerable Satha, the second Cambodian Bhikkhuni. She have received her Bhikkhuni ordination at a Cambodia Buddhist temple in USA. That until now she still have her currently resident there and have very much support from the Bhikkhu Sangha. And the third Cambodia Bhikkhuni is Venerable Dhammanusari Bhikkhuni. Her ordination, Bhikkhuni ordination, is here in the US. We have two Bhikkhu, Khmer Bhikkhu have joined her Bhikkhuni Upasambhada, and two Khmer Bhikkhuni and one seminary and many Khmer lay people, and yes, and support from the Bhikkhunī Sangha here at the Matharani. And I am Jutinda Bhikkhuni, the four Khmer Bhikkhuni. I have very, can say, very lucky that I have opportunity to train, to learn and support from Bhikkhu Sangha in Cambodia monastery with Vipassana meditation and Abhidhamma since I am a seminary, and until now I am very much appreciation and very thankful to the Bhikkhu Sangha and all the Bhikkhunī Sangha and all that have a part that help us to on this progress, because we just start only small Sangha, but we have all support from both sides, from Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunī Sangha. And at this day, I'm very happy to celebration to the International Bhikkhunī Sangha in the world, because I think that I have very much respect and thank you to the Asian Bhikkhunī Sangha in the Asian time, that now, until now, in the present time, in the modern time, we have opportunity to have this time to practicing the Dhamma. And as my experience in Cambodia, that the Bhikkhunī Sangha is very important, because when I was with my teacher in Cambodia in the Vipassana Center, and I am like assistant teacher and help to teach with my teacher. And one Upasika, she must go. I brought her to learn with my Bhikkhu Sangha, a Bhikkhu teacher, but she very nervous. She very fear of the Bhikkhu. And then she asked for the Bhikkhuni or woman that can teach the Dhamma. And that's why I think the Bhikkhunī Sangha is very, very important to teach and to share the Dhamma, because I think it's only Bhikkhu, then it's Dhamma is share not all the side, because I think the woman can speak good from all her problem, or very relaxed, or can speak all of her problem to if we have the same woman or as a teacher. And that's why I'm very much appreciation and will be would like to share my merit, and very thankful to all my teacher, Bhikkhuni Sangha, and all the teacher and all the lay people that have support us from the past until now. And may all the Sangha, Bhikkhuni and Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhunī Sangha work together to spread the Dhamma to the world, because after the Buddha, the Sangha is very important to share the Dhamma. Yes, and I remember the last word of the Buddha that he said before he in Parinibbana, say Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamatena Sampatita. And may all of us be free from suffering and on the good practicing to Nibbana. Nibbana paramang sukhang, Nibbana paramang sonyang, tathata. All of us may be free from suffering. Nibbana paccaya hotu.
My respect to the Mahasangha and greeting to Dhamma friends again. I would talk about the latest progress, which is about my ordination, the seminary ordination. It was done at the Cambodian temple with the Cambodian bhikkhu, with the full traditional Cambodian ceremonies, and participated by 9 bhikkhus in there. So so it is, and and also that temple has been supporting Bhikkhuni since 2019. So this is a great milestone for the Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha. So now I switch to talk about dreams and wishes. So as you know, today is the International Bhikkhuni Day, right? So we are the rightful daughters of the Buddha. And we wish and dreams, to be welcomed, just like the Buddha welcomed the Sinara and Santara Therigatha and these words, welcome, good lady. You are by no means unwelcome. Okay, so and this is what we wish and this is what we dream. So let's go back. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier that that my ordination was a complete Cambodian traditional, and I chose it on purpose to complete the fourfold assembly. Can you hear me? To complete the fourfold assembly successfully. This is through my deep connection, and now I feel like for my I would like to extend my deep connection to for my Bhikkhuni ordination to happen in Cambodia, because I feel like unless the ordination happened in the country, the actual revival of the Bhikkhuni in Cambodia that's not really strong. It's not really strong. So that's really my strong commitment. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that is in my heart right now. And at the same time, to build like a training center and a resource center here in the US, with that connected back to Venerable Metta GV, who's staying at in Cambodia at this our wish and dream is to have the fully accepted and functional Wana Bhikkhuni Arahant in Cambodia. So like she mentioned earlier, we just have a place with a place, a lodging, and also like one day meal per day. That's it, nothing else. So our wish and dream would be to have a permanent, as opposed to a temporary, this place would have like a meditation hall, teaching training area, separate kutis for monastic, altar for paying respects to the Buddha, functional kitchen area, library, and office space. So yeah, so this, and fully accepted as a Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha in Cambodia. And the next one, Venerable Jutinara wish and dream that she wished to establish a training center to share Abhidhamma and Vipassana meditation. She is planning to open 7-day retreats once a month, starting in early 2026. So she needs final supports for food and supply as this retreat is offering freely to all. So we only due to time, we only select a few that we want to that we need support immediately or right away. So, but that doesn't mean that that's all we need. So I would like to include this wish and dreams for now. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Venerables. Really appreciate your sharing and your courage in going ahead, and really happy that I have the chance to know you here, and hope we can stay connected and we can visit that wonderful monastery someday and learn Abhidhamma from Venerable Jitindra and all of this. Thank you very much. So we've heard now about the modern day Indian Bhikkhunī Sangha, also modern day Cambodian Bhikkhunī Sangha. Next, I'm going to invite Venerable Sanghamittā again to tell us about the Malaysian Bhikkhunī Sangha today. Welcome, Venerable.
Thank you, Ayya. So again, good evening, everyone. So here I'm going to share the number of Malaysian Chinese Theravada Bhikkhunis dated 2025 this year. So start from year 2002, our first Malaysian Chinese Bhikkhuni was ordained in Sri Lanka. There is a Venerable Bhikkhuni Bhagya Jayavani. And up to now, we have 15 Theravada Bhikkhuni in number. Most recent one is Venerable Bhikkhuni Arya Vimalani, also ordained in Sri Lanka. So in between this time, we have these Venerable Bhikkhuni ordained in Sri Lanka, Australia, Indonesia, Thailand, in Bulgaria, India as well. Now we see this already passed like more than 2 decades. The number of Bhikkhuni, Theravada Bhikkhuni in Malaysia just 15 in number. So the growth like very slow. But here I am, number 12, Bhikkhunī Sanghamittā. I was ordained as a seminary in year 2013. And this Vasa is my third Vasa as a Bhikkhuni. But from the list here, I would say, because what I see in my country, in Malaysia, I found that almost 95% of the Venerable Bhikkhuni are staying individually for their own practice. So perhaps there might be 1 or 2 Bhikkhuni that I might not aware of if they have get their Upasampada in between. That I put my email address here, then I'll be happy that if anyone know about that, would update me here, anyone from overseas or Malaysia. Another one, when we look at, if I compare Theravada Bhikkhuni in Malaysia for ordination and for the support, compared to our Bhikkhuni sisters here from Cambodia, from India, I would say Malaysia is going more smoothly in a sense of we get support, especially from the Sri Lanka Bhikkhu Sangha. So within the Sangha itself, in Malaysia, there is very last obstacle. By the support of the Sri Lanka Bhikkhu Sangha. Here, I would like to introduce to you. The first one is Venerable Bhante Saranankara Mahathera, who is the pioneer in Malaysia, in a sense, support very much Theravada Bhikkhuni ordination. So he traveling around the world to, whenever he get invitation as a Bhikkhu preceptor, as a Upajjhaya for the Bhikkhuni higher ordination in Theravada. Another one venerable here is Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. He's Malaysian, Chinese. So he's also very active in support Theravada Bhikkhuni higher ordination. And here, Venerable, the most Venerable Bhante Bhuttawati Sri Saranankaranayaka Mahathera. He actually is the chief Adhikarana Sanghanayaka of Malaysia. So it means the chief high priest judiciary of Malaysia. And also the chief monk of these two temples. The first one is Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, capital city. Another one is Mahakaruna Buddhist Society, that which he established couple years ago. And this year they already completed the building and start to use for the benefit of the community. And I'm fortunate that this Venerable Bhante Sarankara is my preceptor teacher when I was ordained in Theravada as a seminary, and also my preceptor bhikkhu for my higher ordination as a bhikkhuni. And where I stay in Malaysia at the moment, we do not have any Theravada Bhikkhuni monastery, no. So as I ordained with my teacher, so in this temple, Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple, where I stay whenever I back to Malaysia from the Buddhist University in Burma or Sri Lanka or Thailand, so I back to my monastery here where I stay, where we have two buildings. One building with attached to this stupa is for the Bhikkhu Sangha. There's beside, at the right side here, not in the picture, there's a Sima Hall. Beside the Sima Hall, there's a building, especially for Theravada Bhikkhuni. Yeah, so that's where I stay. I would say Bhante Sarananka is very, very supportive for the Malaysian Theravada Bhikkhuni. For any project that they would like to establish, any program, he would fully support. He would fully support. So we have less obstacle in the sense of with the Bhikkhu Sangha in Malaysia, and also in support in many ways. Another one, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, Malaysian Chinese. So he is the founder of Brahma Vihara Monastery and Retreat Center in Lanka, Malaysia. He focused in the education, in Buddhist academic, and also in meditation practice. So he welcoming the Theravada Bhikkhuni to visit to his monastery and to have program there. And even he built some kutis in his monastery for Theravada Bhikkhuni in Malaysia to stay. I think here I would like to acknowledge and feel really deeply gratitude. I think without this, the pioneer Sri Lanka Bhikkhu Mahathero here, our path will be very, very difficult. But since they are in Malaysia, especially Bhante Saranankara, he has been in Malaysia for almost 40 years, and he's the PR of Malaysia. He has bring many benefits to the society and also to the Sangha, especially the new revival Theravada Bhikkhunī Sangha in Malaysia. this much aspiration. Bante already 71 this year, but he is contributing tirelessly every day. Yeah. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for sharing. Yes. I haven't really had a clear picture of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in Malaysia, and so this is really good to know the overview and see the buildings and see who is supportive, and happy to know about that. Thank you very much for sharing, Venerable. So we've had our several wonderful Bhikkhuni presentations. I want to acknowledge there's one that we had announced that would be happening that is not actually happening this evening. That's the one from Ayatotthha Mahateri. She was hoping to share something this evening, but ran out of time. So she's not able to share it today, but we hope to have that as part of our YouTube playlist and post it on our website when it comes through. So that presentation will be made available, and also we'll share presentations that did happen today for people to review later. So just to let you know, that will be happening. And next up, we'll go on to Sri Lanka. Again, modern bhikkhunis are an important new development in Sri Lanka, and I'll let Venerable Vandana introduce our next speaker to share about that.
So our next speaker is Tonde Silva, and he's going to share with us the Sri Lankan court decision about the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So I would like to introduce Tonde Silva. He's a university counselor and mentor based in the UK. His career that spans leadership roles as a former director of the United Nations Environment Programs, UNEP, and the International Institute of Environment and Development, IIED. He played a pivotal role in launching global media initiatives on sustainability and climate change that turns these critical issues into everyday conversations. His latest book, How Buddhism Empowers Personal and Social Change, explores the transformative and potential of Buddhist principle in shaping individual lives and driving societal progress. And he is also a friend and supporter of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So nice to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Bhikkhunī Sanghaya.
Sadhu.
It is a privilege and a pleasure for me to learn from all of you. I logged in about an hour or two ago to learn about all these developments going on. I'm not going to go into it in detail, but let me get to what I am supposed to do here. Wishing you all a very happy International Bhikkhuni Day. Sharing my screen. Right, can you see my screen? Wonderful. Slideshow. Playing from the start. That's wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to present to you today a landmark ruling for the Buddhist world. I'm going to do this, first of all, my background is environmental science. But in my work in the past, I have dealt with legal treaties involving regional environmental treaties. For example, in South Asia, I was involved with the creation of the first intergovernmental body called the South Asian Cooperative Environment Program, which involved 8 countries in the South Asian region. I've done treaties, but I'd like to point out that my background is not legal, but I'm approaching this in the context of its relevance to the world. And this is the presentation on the Supreme Court of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, which recognized the Bhikkhuni identity. And I'm now going to stick very closely to the Supreme Court judgment, which is available online for anyone who wants to get hold of it and read it. But I would recommend all to read this judgment very carefully and study it, because it does have, from what I can hear from all your presentations, of great significance to each and every one of the countries that you come from. So, paying homage also to the Most Venerable Dr. Kalunavik Kusuma, who revived the Bhikkhuni order in Sri Lanka. Leadership without office, impact without noise. Her initiatives involved granting the full recognition to the Bhikkhunis, issued national identity cards, provided a monthly stipend for support, opened the door of Buddhist educational institutions for their studies. But all these suddenly were removed by the arrival of a new administration, which appointed a bhikkhu only advisory board and rolled back years of hard work, recognition, and support. So that did not deter the progress of the Bhikkhunī Sangha. And this is the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka judgment, which was delivered on the 16th of June 2025. And you get the case number here, which you can put in and get the whole new judgment. The petitioners meaning the party who initiated the legal action by filing the case in court. First petitioner, Venerable Velimada Dhammadinna Bhikkhuni, who is seeking recognition for her status as a Bhikkhuni, ordained Buddhist nun, on her national identity card, which she was not given. Second petitioner, Venerable Inamaluwe Sri Sumangala Thero, the Mahanayaka of the Rangiri Dambulla chapter, who supported the petition and leads the monastic order that performed ordinations from quite a number of years in Sri Lanka. The petitioners alleged that the refusal to issue a national identity card recognizing Venerable Dhammadinna's status as a Bhikkhuni violates her constitutional right to equal treatment under Article 12 of the Sri Lankan Constitution. Now I'm going to take you through the respondents. The first respondents were Commissioner General of the Department of Registration of Persons denied issuing a national identity card using the title Bhikkhuni, instead offered the term Silmatha. Second respondent, Commissioner General of the Department of Buddhist Affairs, argued that there is no registration system in place for bhikkhunis under the Buddhist Temporalities Ordinance. Third respondent, the Honorable Attorney General, represented the state's legal interest. So I'm going to take you very briefly through the two articles under which the petitioners filed their petition. Article 17 says, every person shall be entitled to apply to the Supreme Court as provided by Article 126 in respect of infringement by executive administrative action of a fundamental right to which such person is entitled under the provision of this chapter. So, Article 126 is very long. This is 126 of the Constitution of Sri Lanka. I'm going to just show the extent of the article to you, but I will summarize it in a very short number of words. This is the entire article. I'm not going to go through it for want of time, but in short, this is what it says. In Sri Lanka, if your basic rights are violated by a government body, you can go straight to the Supreme Court for help, but you must act quickly within 1 month. So, I would like to now go into the entire argument for and against which took place in the courts. The Bhikkhuni Sasana, and then please pay attention to this term Buddha Nitya. This is important because this was what was used by the respondents, and I will come to Buddha Nitya in detail. So, what were the objections for the recognition of the bhikkhunis from getting a national identity card? What were the objections? So, in the Supreme Court judgment, the chief prelates, the Mahanayaka Theros of Sri Lanka's leading monastic fraternities, including the Malwatu, Asgiri, Siam, Amarapura, Ramanya Nikayas or chapters representing the highest spiritual authority within their respective Nikayas and collectively known or form in Sri Lanka as the Mahasangha, the supreme body of senior monks. They defended the claim saying that there is no legal or religious basis to recognize bhikkhunis on official identity documents, and pointed to objections raised by the Mahanayaka Theros of these various chapters. The chief prelates cited in court documents, and I have specified exactly the court documents which you will find in the entire judgment, the Bhikkhuni Sasana no longer exists in Sri Lanka. Any attempt by the state to recognize Bhikkhunis would be misleading and contrary to the Registration of Persons Act of Sri Lanka. The recognition of Bhikkhunis would violate Buddha Nitya, Vinaya. In other words, by Buddha Nitya, they meant Vinaya and Buddhist law. Under Article 9 of the Constitution of Sri Lanka, the state must protect and foster the Buddha Sasana. They argued that the Bhikkhuni recognition would compromise that duty. Some letters cited, and I'm giving you the reference there, were explicit in stating that the inclusion of Bhikkhuni in national identity cards would be misleading and contrary to law. These are explicitly presented in the judgment on pages 9 and 10. Now, the petitioners responded in the following way. In contrast, Venerable Inamalue Sri Sumangala Thero, Mahanayaka of the Rangiri Dambulla chapter, representing him, of course, were the legal team, pointed the following. The revival of the Bhikkhuni order in 1998 under his chapter through valid Upasampada ordination rites. Over 3,000 Bhikkhunis reside in 237 monasteries, aramas affiliated with the Rangiri Dambulu chapter. The revival is fully aligned with Bhikkhuni law and recognized de facto by lay communities and state institutions like passport examination authorities. And then the legal team presented letters from senior clergy. The petitioners submitted letters from other senior monks of the major Nikayas who acknowledged the role of the Bhikkhunis in educational and exam contexts, even if the latter was contested by other officials. Some letters were claimed to be signed inadvertently, but no affidavits were filed to invalidate those recognitions. The ruling. Here is the ruling that was provided by the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. The court found that the Bhikkhunī Sangha has de facto been in existence since 1998, functioning openly with public recognition. The first respondent based recognition on a policy of requiring verification from the Department of Buddhist Affairs, an institution that does not, I repeat, does not register, creating a discriminatory and arbitrary deadlock. One of the High Court judge, the Supreme Court judges, Justice Amarasekara, writing the majority opinion, held that refusing to grant the title Bhikkhuni on the national identity card when male monastics were freely recognized as bhikkhu was a violation of the fundamental right under Article 12 of Sri Lanka. And the Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, Murdu Fernando, supported this judgment. But there was one Supreme Court judge, Mahinda Samayavadana, who dissented, arguing that the matter was ecclesiastical and outside the court's domain. So the final outcome is as follows. National identity cards to be issued recognizing the first petitioner as a bhikkhuni, allowed with costs. The state was required to pay the entire cost of the petitioner's legal expenses, and recognition of the Bhikkhunī Sangha as an active and protected religious order under the Constitution. This was a landmark judgment in the history of legal matters in Sri Lanka. I'd like to just draw your kind attention to some matters as I have myself read this court judgment and studied it. There appears to be a confusion because the word Buddha Nitya has been used quite a lot by the Mahasangha concerning not providing or granting recognition of the Bhikkhunī Sangha. There is no Nitya in the entire Tripitaka. Nitya in Sinhala means law and is translated as Buddhist law. In the Tripitaka, in my understanding, Vinaya, discipline, means rules of training and conduct. Regrettably, this Vinaya, the Pali Vinaya, has been translated into English as monastic law. And I think this is misleading, and it does cause some problems, because it is important to try and clarify this, because the Buddha often mentions Sikkhapada, which is within the framework of spiritual training. Buddha Nitya equates the Vinaya with the law in some of the submissions of the Mahanayaka Theros. So the respondents have presented evidence as framing the Vinaya in a legal idiom, but within the Buddha Dhamma. And Vinaya, in my contention, remains a discipline. It is not a statutory law. This is a misconception which is important for all of us to clarify and create awareness about. So, the petition of the petitioners was entrusted to a very skilled and dedicated, distinguished legal team. The President's Council, Navin Marapana, Nanda Vikramasuriya, Tarantara Palya Gurge, Ushita Vikramasinghe, they were instructed by Eshani Palya Gurge. This was the legal team that worked for years concerning this petition. The petitioners and the legal team navigated a terrain which few in Sri Lanka dared to enter, where constitutional law and the integrity and discipline of the Dhamma and the lineage intersect. Over 12 years, it took 12 years for a decision to be taken. Over 12 years, the petitioners and the legal team stood firm. Their success has now ensured that the Bhikkhunis in Sri Lanka may be recognized in civil systems, from national identity cards to passports, from education to temple registration under the rightful rights. They did not argue merely for a legal right. They restored the dignity and respect. They brought the Bhikkhunī Sangha back into the heart of the constitution of Sri Lanka. Over the course of the case, with no public protests, no media spectacles, no outcry, a constitutional journey unfolded in Sri Lanka that would quietly restore dignity and respect to an entire crucial spiritual community of the Buddha Dhamma. The judgment of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka on 16 June 2025 in favor of recognizing the Bhikkhuni Sasana was not won through headlines, pressure, campaigns, or political lobbying. It was the outcome of persistent discipline, expertise, and moral clarity sustained over a decade by two courageous members of the Sangha and a very dedicated legal team. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Bhikkhunī Sanghaya. Thank you so much to the Dharmadharmi community for inviting me to present this presentation to you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much for this beautiful presentation. We extend our appreciation for your timely and important sharing about the Sri Lankan court decision. I think your perspective helps us to see evolving the legal and social recognition of the Bhikkhuni today in Sri Lanka. And I remember I was in the Sakyaditha conference when we heard this beautiful news, and we were so happy that the international Sakyaditha conference, it was for women, for the Bhikkhuni Sangha, and we were like so overjoyed, and everyone was like so happy after so many years. And there was some Sri Lankan Bhikkhuni, I remember there was like announced thing like, oh, finally we won, finally we had the recognition. So I think this is a really wonderful achievement for the Bhikkhuni Sangha that they have.
Yes, I'd like to just make a point in response to your kind comments that it is, I'd like to just say that legal judgments, as you can see from what is happening in the world, is not and never always definite.
Yes.
It is, if you look at, for instance, in the US, Roe v. Wade, everybody thought that it was sacrosanct. It wasn't, and it is now being changed. So indeed, yes, we need to celebrate this landmark Supreme Court judgment, but it's always, always necessary to be always on the alert, to be aware, and to be always be careful and see what is coming and responding. and always to create awareness about these matters to the entire world Buddhist Sangha. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much.
Sadhu, sadhu. Yes, I share my thanks. Wonderful presentation. Thank you for everyone. We are running a little bit behind time here, so I'm going to go a little bit quickly here, but I wanted to share just a little bit from some other Bhikkhuni projects, some people who were not able to join us this evening, but we just want to acknowledge some things that are going on in the Bhikkhuni world. And I have a few slides to share just briefly about this. Just a moment, let me pull up my slides. Okay. So I want to acknowledge some new Bhikkhuni projects around the world. First, we're very happy to announce the opening ceremony for Dhammacharini Korea with Ayasuchita here with the new signboard for the monastery. This will be an outpost. Ayasuchita was here with us at Dhammacharini Monastery for about 3 years, and she has now returned to Korea and is starting the branch there. And we're just delighted to have this connection. It's small, but wonderful growth around the world. And happy also, hey, I think you're still online with us. Thank you for being with us this evening. Let's see, is she still here? Oh, yes, here we are. Just want to see you briefly. There you are. Anumodana Aye, happy to see you online, and happy to have Dhammacharini Korea in the world. So, just that. Then, some other projects that have been going on. There are new Bhikkhuni places in Washington State, 2 of them actually. There's Pasati Vihara in Olympia, Washington, founded by Ayasavijana Terry and Ayaniyanika, both of whom had their initial training and ordination with Dhammacharini. Also in Washington State, there's the new Parayana Vihara in Port Townsend, Washington, founded by Aya Ananda Bodhi Terry. Also there is Seminary Junha, a lovely growing community. We want to know about Empty Cloud Italia in Europe, the Lena Bhavana Forest Monastery project in Puglia, Italy, founded by Ayasoma. They have some big dreams for transforming this forest area into a beautiful monastery. There's some ancient caves there that were used previously by Christian monastics for meditation, and now the Buddhists are meditating there still. There's also the new Anukampa Grove Monastery in Oxford, UK, founded by Venerable Chanda Terry, first Bhikkhuni place in the UK. And well, we already heard about Theravada Cuba and Dhammachari Espanol from Ayamarajina, and another wonderful growth of the Bhikkhuni Sangha initiative. There's one more that we had Aya Karunika from Santi Forest Monastery in Australia. She was going to share with us about her experiences in the past with Dhammacharini. She had her Anagarika precepts with Dhammacharini at Aranya Bodhi Hermitage 15 years ago, and she's now abbot at Santi Forest Monastery in Australia. And she was going to share about a Bhikkhuni training center that they're founding now in Sri Lanka. In the interest of time, I'm not going to share this whole video with us, but we can share this with you afterwards. And she has a beautiful sharing both about her history with Dhammacharini and also the new plans for a training center in Sri Lanka, supported by Santi Forest Monastery, and also some kind words shared from Ajahn Brahmali, also from the Buddhist Society of Western Australia. So I wanted to acknowledge these things. Amidst all the challenges, there are these wonderful, wonderful developments, and just wanted to let you know about them. One more wonderful development. I'm going to invite Deepak Anand. Are you still with us? Are you ready to present here?
Yeah. Hello, all venerables. This is International Bhikkhuni Days, so
Yes.
my best
Well, may
wishes to. And,
Sadhu. May I introduce you, or actually invite Venerable Vandana to introduce you?
Today we have Deepak Ananda with us. So he's gonna share with us Mahapajapati Gautami Renunciation Trail pilgrimage in India. So he's a Buddhist pilgrimage interpreter following the trails of Xuanzang and affiliated with the Navalanda University. So I would like to invite Deepak to present.
Thank you, Bhikkhuni. Thank you, Nan. Thank you. So yes, this presentation is regarding this Mahapajapati Gautami Renunciation Trail. So all of us are aware of this fact that is the screen. Yeah. Can everybody see this presentation? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
We can
okay.
see.
Yeah, so basically, we have been trying for last couple of years to revive this trail of Mahapajapati Gautami. So all of us are aware of this story that Buddha was initially, he declined this Mahapajapati Gautami for ordination. So they were like 500 Shakyan women along with Mahapajapati Gautami under her leadership. They walked from Kapilavastu, that is present-day Tilarakota, to Vaishali. This is like something like 300 kilometers. So I have documented this trail, and then so gradually I was in touch with Venerable Tathaloka. So we had this idea that we should have someday this revival of this trail, because this is such a historic event and such a great event which happened something to 2,500 years ago. So and nobody is aware about this trail and this historical fact. So the idea was to revive this trail and document it properly and showcase it to the world, because this is such an interesting story, and still it's not in the textbooks of Indian schools. Like nobody's aware of it. So this year we are planning for this. It's almost finalized. It's from 18 to 25th of December. So they are we are hoping for participation of 100 bhikkhunis from all over the world. So this trail is something like, it starts from Kapilavastu. It's some 75 kilometers in present day Nepal. And from here it enters India, and ultimately it finishes here in Vaishali, in where bhikkhunis were finally this 500 Shakyan women along with Mahapajapati Gautami, they were ordained in Vaishali. So this won't be a proper walk, not everybody is going to walk. I mean, we are not going to walk the whole trail, but we are going to have a ceremonial kind of event where we would be touching all the important places associated with this trail. And we would be having some ceremonial puja, ceremonial worshipping, and ceremonial processions along this trail. So these are the dates. On 18th, all the participants and organizers, they would be arriving at Lumbini, and in the evening we will have some discussion. And then on 19th, we have event at Tilarakota, that is the palace city, and again in the evening at Lumbini. Next day on 20th, we would be moving to Ramagrama. Ramagrama is a very important place. This was the part of Ramagrama is here. So Ramagrama is the place where even Buddha on his renunciation, he touched this place. So this was part of the trail where later on this Buddha's body relic was enshrined here. And this is Anoma river, which is present day Gandak. So we would be visiting next day on 21st at Anoma river. And then from there we will enter India. And this is the place, ancient Anupiya. So this is the place where Buddha cut his hair and he sent back Chandaka. So all those events, it happened here according to Xuanzang. So all those places have been now recently been identified. So we would be touching all these places. We will be offering prayers here. And from here, we will go to Lauria Nandan. Then from this place, Valmiki Nagar, this Anupiya, we will go to Vaishali. So on the way, we will be visiting Lauria, Nandangarh, Ariraj, and Kesaria. These are the important Ashokan pillar sites. We do not know the significance of all the places, but I mean, they must be, these are also part of ancient trail of Buddha's Mahabhishkramana, and also same trail which Mahaprajapati Gautami and 500 Shakyan women, they followed. So we would be touching all these places, and on 23rd evening, we will be reaching Vaishali. And on 24th, we will be having event at Birpur and Bhakra. These are two places associated with Bhikkhunis events, historic events. So we will be having some ceremonies here. Yeah, so this is a picture of Kapilavastu Palace City, Tilarakota. So we will be having the inaugural event here. This is Lumbini. Again, all of us are aware about this place. So we would be visiting this place on the second day. This is Ramagrama Stupa. And this is Anuma Ghat. So this is a very beautiful shrine, which is like, local people, they have local Buddhist people at this Anuma river. They have developed this shrine. So we will be visiting this place on the third day. And on the fourth day from Anupiya, we would be like, visiting all these stupas on the way. This is Lauria Nandangarh, this is Ariraj, this is Kesaria. So they are very significant stupas related with Buddha and the trail of Mahabhishkramana. And in Vaishali, so in Vaishali, according to Xuanzang, this area, Birpur, this is the place where, according to Xuanzang, Mahaprajapati Gautami and 500 Shakyan women, they attained Parinibbana. And this is the place where, according to Xuanzang, where Mahaprajapati Gautami and 500 Shakyan women, they were ordained, this Kutagrashala. So we have not found exactly the site, but all these places have got lots of mounds, ancient mounds. So we would be having a ceremonial event at both the places. This is the place, Birpur place, where for last 2-3 years, we are having this we are commemorating this Mahaprajapati Gautami Parinibbana Day. So this is so we will be having valedictory function here on 23rd or 24th. Valedictory is on 24th. So on 24th afternoon, we will be having event here, valedictory event here. And on 24th morning, we will be visiting, we will be having a ceremonial walk in this village, because this village has got, you can see this is a mound. So this village has got many such mounds, which are ancient brick structures, maybe probably stupa. And this area, Bhakra area, according to Xuanzang, had two important shrines here. For one was the Amrapali monastery. So it was also in this location, and another was Kutagrashala, where Mahaprajapati Gautami, the Bhikkhuni Sangha was established. So we do not know exactly which stupa signifies these two events, but there are many mounds. So we would be doing a ceremonial walk in this village in the morning of 24th. So this is the, presentation. I mean, this is what we are hoping to do on in December this year. And as Venerable Dhammadina, she mentioned that probably we would be announcing this event on 28th September. So hopefully we announce this event on 28th September. So if anybody has some questions, I'm here, or maybe.
Yes, thank you so much, Deepak, for sharing about the Mahaprajapati Gautami Renunciation Trail pilgrimage. I think your offerings connects the spirits of the renunciation and the Bhikkhuni path with today's living practice. And thank you so much for joining. I know you have some difficult time at your home, but thank you so much for giving us your important time. I hope everyone is fine and have good at your home. I see Venerable Ayah Sakya Dhammadina is here. Ayah, I would like to invite you to say some words about this Mahaprajapati Gautami trail.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much. First of all, I pay my homage to the Triple Gems, And I pay my homage to all the venerables present here. And I wish all of you a very, wishing you a happy International Bhikkhuni Day. Today we are celebrating the success of the Bhikkhunis, their sacrifices, their strong resolutions, and what they have achieved in so many years with so much struggle. So as Deepak has already mentioned, in India, we are having a great time with the Bhikkhunis because we are developing and we are doing a lot of projects on Bhikkhunis. So here I would like to mention that a few days before, on 3rd of September, we had a meeting with the Bhikkhunis. We have a UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhunī Sangha International, and we had some Bhikkhunis like Bhikkhuni Liu Phap from Vietnam, Bhikkhuni Dhammananda from Thailand, and Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta from Australia, and some other Bhikkhunis were there. They were from different countries, and we really discussed this thing because before that we were not prepared for that. And even Sister Wangmo asked me whether we can do it or not because it seems difficult this year also. Last year we planned to do. I asked Deepak, and Deepak also wanted to do it last year also. So we planned, but we could not do it last year. So Sister Wangmo was, she was very worried and she wanted to postpone it this year also because we were not responding. Bhikkhunis were not responding. So she asked me, can we postpone? Do we have to postpone? I said, no, it's better if we can do it this year. So I asked Venerable Tataloka also, and she said, no, we must do it this year. Let's do it this year. No matter how hard it is and whatever the challenges we will have to face, but we can do it this year. So we tried our best in a UTBSI meeting. We discussed it with all the Bhikkhunis and everything. Maybe we don't have enough time to plan all these things, but still we will do it, and everybody is ready to do it now. So Deepak has already made a plan, but there were some things which I discussed with the Venerable Tataloka also and other Bhikkhunis also. Before we were planning to have Deepak 25 Bhikkhunis and making a documentary film. I don't know whether Sister Wangmo talked to you about this or not, but before we were planning having 25 Bhikkhunis because this is the first year and we don't have any, planning or something. So we were trying to have only 25 Bhikkhunis and we can make a documentary film on them. But Bhikkhunis, they suggested, thank you. So the Bhikkhunis suggested that if instead of the documentary film, if instead of spending a lot of money on the documentary film, if we can sponsor more Bhikkhunis from that money, and maybe we can just keep it open for maybe 100 or 200 Bhikkhunis, whoever wants to join. So Bhikkhunis insisted, and they really want if 100 of Bhikkhunis can join us. So it would be better instead of making a documentary film, and maybe for the photos and for the videography, for sure we can hire some, some local photographer, which doesn't need a lot of money to spend on. So this was, but really Venerable Tataloka really wanted to make a documentary film because she has a strong opinion on that also, that it's a like milestone. And also Sister Wangmo has a MOU with the Nalanda and for this project also. So it's better if we can make. And the other thing was we are also planning to have a seminary ordination in Vaishali, but Bhikkhunis insisted instead of Vaishali, if we can have the seminary ordination in Kapilvastu. And in the beginning, we will have the ordination ceremony in Kapilvastu, and then same as the Mahaprajapati, she walked with the Bhikkhunis from Kapilvastu to Vaishali. So the newly ordained seminary can also join us from Kapilvastu to Vaishali. And it's a good thing, I think we can do that right in the beginning, the first day. And the third thing is the sponsorship, because Bhikkhunis are ready to sponsor their travel and accommodation. And Sister Wangmo has already put the budget and everything in there, estimated budget. So if someone would like to join any bhikkhuni, so we have a budget, and any bhikkhuni can sponsor, their lay devotees can sponsor them, and they can join us. So these are the things we discussed in that, and for sure we are having a final meeting on 28th of September. Sister Wangmo, I think, is not here today. So on 20th September, because we have short time, so maybe Deepak, Sister Wangmo, Venerable Tathaloka, and we all can discuss this together and then come to the conclusion, and everything will be finalized. And on 28th September, we will announce it. Everything will be announced on 28th September. So we are wishing, but it's for sure that it will happen anyhow, no matter how many challenges. You see, even the Buddha said no to Mahaprajapati for 3 times, but still she walked. Still, she was so determined that she walked. So maybe people will say no, this problem, that problem, or maybe financially or something, but we know Dhamma can work, and we will not stop, and we can make it this year, I think. And we should make it. We should not stop, no matter how difficult it is. So, and Deepak, we know that, okay, Indian people will support. I know that they will support, and we will be able to make it. And the second thing is, I would like to share with everyone that our Bhikkhuni training center, yes, we had Bhikkhuni Viharas in India in past also. Because I joined in the middle, and I saw that Bhikkhuni Vandana from Nagpur, she was sharing her presentation on the modern India Bhikkhunis in India and how they ordained in 1998, and it was a beautiful presentation. So we had the Mahaprajapati Vihara, the first Vihara, but now we, the Bodhipakya, are trying to, actually we have got a land. I'm sharing the some pictures of construction. So we have got 1 acre of land and a Bhikkhuni training center. It will be a training center for the Samaneris and the Bhikkhunis. So Bhikkhuni training center is under construction now. It's 1 acre of land in the Madhya Pradesh, which is around 3 hours from Nagpur. It's around 120 kilometers from Nagpur city, and it's around 2 hours journey from Jabalpur. So like airports are 2 hours or 3 hours away. So we have got a land and it is under construction. And with the help of Venerable Tathaloka, we have given this project the name Bodhidhara. So Bodhidhara is our Bhikkhuni training center of Bodhipakya, and it's the first Bhikkhuni center, or Bhikkhuni training center, sorry. So we are having it very soon. Maybe next year we will complete it and we can start the Bhikkhuni training. So I would like to inform all of the venerables here, and maybe next year when we complete this, I would like to invite everyone to join us for the opening ceremony, for the inauguration, and time to time for the training, for giving training and for taking training also if someone needs. So for taking training and for giving training, we are inviting all the Bhikkhunis. And also, I would like to share one more thing here, that this year, ITCC, we know the chanting that happens, that is happening from last 19 years under the Sacred Bodhi tree with the help of, with the LBDFI and Sister Wangmo. They are organizing it from last 19 years. So this year, India is the chief organizer of ITCC. And this is the first time in 19 years India being the host, the chief organizer of ITCC. And we, Bhikkhuni Sangha, is offering one-day food in ITCC on 12th of December. We choose that day purposely. Actually, there were many dates, but we choose 12th of December because it is the Atami. Atami is the half moon of the December month. And it is the day when Sanghamittā Arahant Therīs started her journey from India to Sri Lanka. So we just wanted to dedicate this food offering and this day to her journey and to the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So we, Bodhipakya, is offering one-day food to 20,000 Sangha and the devotees on 12th of December, and we are dedicating this food offering to the journey of Sanghamittā and to Bhikkhuni Sangha. Also, this year during ITCC, we are having a cultural program every day for 10 days continuously. So we will have one day, the Bhikkhuni program, cultural program. It can be on 9th or 10th of December. So we will have one day cultural program, especially for Bhikkhunis, in which they will show how the Bhikkhunis were in the past, in the present. So they will represent the Bhikkhuni Sangha in their cultural program. So this is the news, what I have from India, what we are doing and what we are achieving in India and what we are trying to do best for the Bhikkhunis in future. So Bodhidhara, ITCC, cultural program and MPG Charita. So this is 4 projects for this year. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I wish all our projects get success and all the Bhikkhuni project get success. And as Sir Don De Silva has represented a beautiful presentation on how the Bhikkhuni got the recognition. May all of us get the recognition that we need or that we can achieve in future. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I wish all the Bhikkhunis a healthy and happy life and a long life. Sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 Anumodana. Thank you so much, Aye, for sharing this beautiful projects going on in India, and good to see the monastery's work is going on beautiful and in the nature, surrounding in the nature. Good, not in the Nagpur, it's really hot in the Nagpur. So yeah, when I come back to India, maybe I'll visit you soon.
3 hours from Nagpur in Madhya Pradesh, and it's between the 2 national park, the Pinch and the Kanha. So it's not that hot there. Yeah, it's not that hot there.
Good, good. Sadhu, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful projects and the inspirational thing happening in India next year. It's so inspiring and exciting to know about that.
There is
Yeah.
one question I can see in the chat box. What is ITCC? Sushmita Barua. ITCC is International Tripitaka Chanting Council. It is a chanting, international Tripitaka chanting, in which Sangha from more than 27 countries and lay devotees, they gather under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya every year from 2nd December to 12th December. Continuously for 10 days, they chant the Buddha Vachana, there is Dhamma talk, there is procession, there is food offering for continuously 10 days. And every year, some countries sponsor that, organize, being the chief organizer of that. But this year, after 9 years, we got the opportunity, India got the opportunity to be the chief organizer for the first time. So you are also invited, and you all are invited. Sushmita Barua, if you never been there in the Tripitaka chanting, so I invite you in the month of December. It starts from 2nd of December to 12th of December. So we invite you to join us in Bodh Gaya.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here and sharing about all these wonderful projects. So next up, I'd like to invite Nuchada. Nuchada is for Dhammadharini an international, what is her title? International Ambassador for Bhikkhunis on behalf of Dhammadharini, as well as the Director of Development for the Dhammadharini Support Foundation. I'd like to invite her to join us now and share a few words. Where are you, Nuchada? Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Venerables and the Dhamma friend. My name is Nuchada Praipiran, and I'm honored to speak today on behalf of Dhammadharini Support Foundation, where I serve on the board as Director of Development. And I have some screen to I will share my screen. All right. Oh, what happened here? Sorry. Share again. Okay. Um, Today, as Dhammadharani celebrate International Bhikkhuni Day, I have prepared a short slideshow from Sakayadita Conference, a powerful gathering I was fortunate to attend with some of the Bhikkhunis this past June. While this is not a full conference presentation, I felt it would be meaningful to share a glimpse of that energy and the global sisterhood, as it beautifully reflects the spirit of this special occasion. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha's vision was simple yet profound, to help beings free themselves from suffering, dukkha. That vision took form through the Fourfold Assembly, the Bhikkhu, Bhikkhunis, Ubasak, and Ubasika, each playing an essential role in preserving and sharing the Dhamma. As lay supporters, we are not just witness to this tradition, we are participants in it. I invite you to go beyond simply receiving the blessing of the Dhamma and to take part in sharing it with the world. Even if we cannot yet teach directly, we can nourish and strengthen the Sangha, ensuring that the light of the Dhamma continues to shine brightly for generations to come. And this too is an act of dana, a gift of generosity that creates lasting merit, or boon in pai. When we give with open hearts, the benefits extend far beyond ourselves. Our merit helps sustain the Sangha, and it also protects and uplifts us in this life and in lives yet to come. Today, I wanted to recognize Dhammadharani for being a trailblazer in strengthening the second assembly of the Fourfold Sangha. The Bhikkhunis, not only here in the United States, but across the globe. Let us come together to support this noble effort, to fill the light so it continues to shine brightly for many years ahead. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sabhe satta sukito hotu. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. And before we finish with I actually wanted to stop here. Okay. And also today I wanted to warmly invite those of you who live in San Francisco Bay Area to join us for a very special event. It is a one-day meditation retreat, and the topic that we will be discussed with is with compassion, return the tide. It will be on Saturday, September 20th, and from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the San Harbor Clubhouse, Forest City, California. And this retreat will be part of our 15th annual International Bhikkhuni Day celebration and will be led by Ayamarajina Terry, the founder of Theravada Cuba, and Venerable Kakachiyana, along with Dhammadharani monastic community. And it will be a rare opportunity to practice in community with guided meditation and inspiring Dhamma talk. And we will have time to reflection and connection with the Sangha and fellow retreatants. So I will drop the link, 2 links on the chat room. It will be linked to our support page and also will be linked to about the event. If you cannot join the event in person and you may know of anyone that could benefit from this event, please feel free to join the link with them. And with that, I wish you all well and thank you, Venerables, for letting me speak today. Thank you.
Sadhu, thank you very much, Nuchita. Happy to have you. And it's a beautiful video, beautiful sharing from your time in Sakyadita. So at this time, I'd like to, we're coming towards the close of our program, but we'd like to offer an opportunity for Sanghadana. And we actually have, there's one donor who has offered something very kindly, specifically for this day. She went to a lot of effort to prepare some gifts for the Sangha. And she's not able to be on Zoom with us right now. But I wonder, Nuchita, would you be able to stay with us for the Sangha-dana? I'm going to put the script on the screen. We'll do a call and response chanting. And you could lead up on behalf of, let me make sure I have the names here. On behalf of the offers, Brother Radha Ong Hui Gi and Sister Ratana Kumari Marie Tunka. They'll be offering this. Nuchida can help us with the chanting, and some of those here in the room can help with offering this to the Sangha. And anyone else who would like to offer Sangha-dana, not yet. Just a moment. Anyone else who would like to offer Sangha-dana is welcome to join together in this chanting for the offering. And after this offering, then we'll have the closing and closing blessings chanting. Just a moment. I need to share my screen again. Okay. All right. All right. So then, those who are here in the room, you could hold those, and we can all chant together. So dedicating these items. You can start. I'm going to chant Namo Tassa 3 times, and then you can repeat after me 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. All right, now I'm going to chant this a little at a time. You repeat after me each word. Imani.
Imani.
Mayang aye.
Mayam aye.
Sankhadanani.
Sankhatanani.
Hello, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Computer failure here. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
No. I'm still sharing. All right. Okay. Can you hear me, Nuchita?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the. It's not showing. Okay. Well, sorry about that. My computer is just out of batteries and the charging cord is not working properly. Could you get me a blue book? Blue chanting book? Yeah. Got it? All right, sorry. Okay, let's try that again. Can you repeat after me? Imani
Imani
mayang aye
mayang aye
Sanghadhanani
Sanghadhanani
Bhikkhuni Sanghassa
Bhikkhunī Sanghassa
Ono Jayama
Ono Chayama
Satuno Aye
Satuno Aye
Bhikkhuni Sangho
Bhikkhunī Sangho
Imani
Imani
Sanghadhanani
Sanghadhanani
Patiganhatu
Patiganhatu
Amhakang
Amhakang
Dikaratang
Sikaratang
Hitaya
Hitaya
Sukhaya.
Sukhaya.
What that means is we present these Sangha gifts of ours to the Bhikkhunī Sangha. May the Bhikkhunī Sangha accept these Sangha gifts for our long-term welfare and happiness.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Yes, our friends here to help offer these gifts, Sangha gifts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. On behalf of Sister Ratana Kumari Maritunga and her husband. Anumodami. Thank you very much, Nuchida. All right, and then we'll dedicate the merits of this offering. We're going to have the water pouring here. Our three here can pour the water, and while we chant the let them see what you're doing with the water. Thank you.
Anumodana. Yatha Varavaha Pora Pariporente Sakaram Evameva Itatina Vetanang Apakapati Echitang Patitang Tamahang Kepameva Sanechetu Sape Orentu Sankapa Chando Panarasayata Manijoterasayata Sapitiyo Vivajantu Saparoko Vinasatamate Pavatwantarayo Sukhiti Kayuko Pawa Apiwa Sili Sanechang Vatha Pachayina Chattara Thamma Vadhanti Ayuvano Sukhang Pahlang Bhavata Sappamangkalang Rakantu Sappa Devata Buddha Nupavena Sata Sati Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sappa Mangalam Rakantu Sappa Devata Sappa Thamma Nupavena Sata Sati Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sappa Mangalam Rakantu Sappa Devata สัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัตตาโสติภาวันตุเต
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Noting that this is a special International Bhikkhuni Day Sangha Dana offered in commemoration of not only the 15th International Bhikkhuni Day and 2609th anniversary of the Bhikkhunī Sangha, but also the 20th anniversary of Dhammadharīni. And with dedication for her parents-in-law, Madam Tan Por and Mr. Om Kim Ti. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So now we come to a few closing announcements and then some closing blessings. Thank you very much.
So I have some announcement to make. Next September 28th in the evening, Indian time, it will be evening time in India. The UTBSI, they are celebrating the International Bhikkhuni Day. So what is UTBSI? UTBSI is United Theravada Bhikkhunī Sangha International, and they are hosting the International Bhikkhuni Day program on September 28th from 5 to 7:30 a.m. California time. And I would like to invite all of you, whoever like to join. We don't have the information yet, but whenever we will get the information, we will provide all the details to you through the Dhammadharīni. And I would like to say thank you and appreciate everyone who have joined us today, all the venerables, Dhamma friends, and honored guests. On behalf of the Dhammadharīni, I wish to express our deep gratitude to everyone who has joined us for today's International Bhikkhuni Day gathering. We are grateful to have the venerable teachers and speakers who have shared their wisdom and reflection, reminding us of the ancient and continuing lineage of the Bhikkhunī Sangha. We also thank our special guests, our lay supporters, and all who have offered their time, efforts, and goodwill to make this occasion possible. Our heart appreciation extends to those who worked quietly behind the scan, and to all of you who have gathered here in the spirit of the Dhamma. Your presence and support are what give life to this celebration. May the merits of our coming together today be for the welfare, happiness, and liberation of all beings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumod.
Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So we come now to our closing chanting. I want to remind that we will stay on after this. We'll end the live stream, but we'll stay on for those on the Zoom who would like to have a little bit of community time, discussion, question and answer. But for now, coming to our closing and closing chanting. Let's see, we can't put it on the screen. So inviting, wait, hang on. I need to change the mic here.
Samagin savake passa ekam bodhanavandana. See the disciples all together, putting forth energy, resolute, always with strong effort. This is homage to the Buddhas.
Sape paratima yadisaya sata verantuki hantu sape paratima yadisaya sata verantuki hantu sape kakinaya disaya sata Suki Hantu Sate Kakinaya Anudisaya Sata Suki Hantu Sate Pachimaya Tisaya Sata Suki Hantu Sate Pachimaya Anudisaya Sata Aweya Suki Hantu Sate Ataraya Isaya Sata Aweya Suki Hantu Sate Ataraya Anudisaya Sata Aweya Suki Hantu Sate Awarimaya Tisaya Sata Aweya Suki Hantu Sate Maya Tisaya Sata Aweya Suki Hantu Sate Sata Aweya Hantu Sukita Hantu Nitruka Hantu Atya Pacha Hantu Anita Hantu Sikha Yuga Hantu Saroga Hantu Sampate Samechantu Sukhi Ataran Pariharantu Tukha Pata Janetruka Maya Pata Janepaya Soka Pata Janisoka Hantu Sate Vipanino Eta Amane Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabe Devamu Sapa Sampati Setia Tanam Tatan Sataya Silang Dakan Satatan Wana Piratan Montuk Sechan Devata Jana Sate Potala Pata Pacetan Jayan Palang Arantanan Jadece Navakan Pantan Nisa Kwaso.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you all for joining with us. This is the close of our formal program. We will be staying on
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
for more discussion if you'd like. But we will at this point end our live stream and wish you all a really good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be in the world, with International Bhikkhuni blessings to all. Okay.
It is very inspiring to see you all Bhikkhunis.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's like I can't actually. Yes. Anyway, let's take a break and we'll let people get up and move around, and then we'll hang out here for a little more discussion and community time. Those who need to go may go now. Welcome all. Mm, 2 minute, 5 minute?
Okay. Just straight.
Thank you for an inspiring program.